In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can quickly and effectively launch a business from $0 in just a few hours and begin getting feedback on your idea. Now, this is a super important topic that people miss out on when starting apps and starting businesses, is that they just start building it once they get the idea. This couldn't be further from the wrong way to do it. You really need to get consumers' eyes on your product as early as possible. If you look at all the most successful venture capital companies, you'll hear them talking about launch early, create an MVP and just get it out there to users. I actually think there's one step that comes before that, which is you should be talking to users before you've even built the MVP. They need to be shaping the MVP that you're building. It's their app, not yours. A really great book on this is something called The Mom Test. And the name of the book, The Mom Test, comes from the fact that we as founders and business people and entrepreneurs, we tend to ask our family about our app ideas. And, your mum, she's always going to be super proud of you, They're always going to be like, yeah, it's a great idea. I think you should go for it. But that's not the person who's going to end up paying for your product. It's your customers. So you need to be speaking to your customers super early. Okay, so how can you do this? So the first thing you want to do is you don't want to spend or waste any time on name and logo. Your logo can just be the name of your company. And for your company, you can literally just put into ChatGPT, give me 20 business name ideas for this. Now, once you've got those business names, if I was you, I'd just go onto some sort of domain provider. So where you can purchase domains like whatever, www.yourbusinessname.com, and just make sure the domain's available. Maybe flick on Instagram, just double check you can get the Instagram handle if you think you're going to be using social media a lot for your marketing. But then within 15, 20 minutes, you should have been able to get your own domain. Okay, now following that, you want to basically have some sort of landing page that people can land on. And you need a headline, and then you need a call to action button. They're literally all you need at this stage. You can build it as you go, but just to really launch super early and get speaking to customers, that's all you need. So you can use any AI tool you like to generate UI. I'm sure there's loads out there. One that I'm familiar with is, I think you pronounce it Wizard, UIZARD.com. And effectively, you can go on there and you can give it a prompt of the landing page you want. But the thing I really like about it is you can actually add a screenshot of a current website that you like, and it will use that UI for inspiration. So say, for example, you really like Clio's branding. They're a UK business company card company here in the UK. They have beautiful branding. Or Wise, another beautiful branding. Framer, Webflow always have great branding. You can either copy and paste their URL or take a screenshot, and it'll take that as inspiration. Now, once you've got that, you can take that screenshot of that landing page that the AI generators has generated for you, in this case, Wizard. And you can basically do screenshot to Figma. There's plugins where you can do that. And then from Figma, you can export that as HTML. So you've got this AI generated UI. You're going to do screenshot to Figma. So there's these plugins in Figma where you can upload that and it will add it into your Figma file for you. And then from that, you can go Figma to HTML. That's probably the best step. If you just want to be a little bit more hacky and you want to bypass that step, what you can do is you can just get a screenshot that Wizard produced and just send that or paste that into ChatGPT and say, send me the HTML code. You can then get any HTML file you want. Just literally, you can even do this in any editor you want. Download VS Code, do it anywhere. And you can just put that in, and you just need to make sure that it has a headline and a call to action button. Then on the call to action button, you want to link to a type form. Now, this bit's super important. The reason you want to link to a type form is because you need to start surveying your potential customers. So there's a great book called Ask by, I think the guy's name is Ryan Levesque. I'll leave a link down just in case that's not his name. It's something Levesque. Might be Adam Levesque. And he talks about how to talk to customers to basically uncover their pain points, which is the fundamental building blocks of building a business. And so there's like 4 key questions that he gets you to ask. And one of them is like a really open-ended question, like, what is your biggest struggle in X area? Then the rest of them are just, it's more to do with segmentation. and understanding who your target audience is going to end up being. So you want a Typeform where you can use Tally, any sort of tool like that where you can survey your audience. You can even use Google Forms if you wanted. And the link's going to go to there, and you're going to say, get early access in your call to action button. They're going to go through that, and you're going to ask them if they'd be comfortable leaving their details and if they're happy for you to speak to them. At this point, you can start ringing up people and asking about their pain points, understanding what products would solve their issues. That in itself is a huge skill that you're going to need to go and learn. It's really hard. But yeah, that's what you're going to do. Then deployment-wise, you can use a free hosting provider. You can use Vercel, or in this case, I've used Firebase. And you're just going to get that simple H1 CTA landing page out there. Now you can run ads to this. If you've already got an existing audience, you can send people there. If you want to go one step further, you can add a video explaining your potential product. You could add 3 H3 tags, which just discuss the problems that you think you're going to be solving in this business. Obviously, it will change as you go on and speak to customers. There's a plethora of different things you can add. But this is how you can just launch early, get eyes on your product, and get speaking to customers so that you can shape your product around your customers and not around yourself. One of the biggest mistakes that early stage founders make is they build a product for themselves and not their customers. So there you go. That's how you can launch a business idea for $0. Use the free version of Typeform, free hosting provider, and free AI tools to effectively get yourself a mock-up design, or you can inspect the HTML of other websites and use that for inspiration. But there you go. That's how you can launch a business, get eyes on it super early. And yeah, that's what I've done. And in the next part, I'm going to actually be building the product. The reason we do this side by side is because obviously, if you just build the product and then try and get feedback, you've wasted probably 3 or 4 features of the features that you make are going to be useless. If you get the feedback whilst you're building, you might be able to change just in time and waste a lot less time and shape your product so that the customers are actually willing to pay for it rather than just building it for yourself. That's all for this little mini series. In the next one, we're going to be focusing on actually building the app, architecting it, looking at the front end and the first few features. So yeah, if you're interested in following along for the code, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, see you in the next one.